And we are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to September 1st, 2024, Labor Day stream, coming to you from beautiful Bedford, Massachusetts. I have just finished my work for the day. Yesterday, there was no work, but today we have a job. We came up to Bedford instead of going down to Virginia like I normally do. Came to Bedford. So, got to do a stream. Hopefully the internet holds out really well. It's looking pretty good so far, but we are leaving Signature Flight Support at Bedford and heading back to beautiful New Jersey. So it is Labor Day 2024. I did a stream on Rumble yesterday, which was okay. I actually picked up, like, I have 6 subscribers now, and which is very exciting. And I think I've earned 12 cents on Rumble. So pretty soon, I'm sure with my Rumble earnings, I'll be able to retire. But it's Labor Day 2024. We got to do a stream. There's, of course, a million things to talk about. Although I was thinking Labor Day 2008, I was busy having a heart attack. That was 16 years ago. Man, how time flies. Time flies. When you have health issues. But seriously, folks, everything's as good as it can reasonably be. And listen, we are here to inform, to entertain, to remind you that everyone that's Fed posting is probably a Fed, and not to do the things they say. Don't run around naming the Jew. Don't bring a fucking National Socialist Democratic Party Nazi flag to the Democratic National Committee. Don't do stupid shit like that. Anybody that tells you to waste your time and effort doing shit that is pointless and is likely to get you injured or killed does not have your best interest at heart. If you really, and I mean really, really, want to overthrow the existing world order, you have to do everything you can, peacefully and legally, to destroy the Federal Reserve note. That brown sign right there, it says Minuteman Historical National Park. We are very close to, this is actually, this road is called 2A, believe it or not, which is pretty funny. I want you to see it on the sign. That sign says 2A, right? 2A, like Second Amendment. And there's the reason, I don't know if they did that on purpose, but coming up here on the left in like a half a mile or something is the Paul Revere capture site. So Paul Revere, who, when the British were coming, got on his horse and said, "The British are coming, the British are coming." And the British were coming to confiscate American guns. And Paul Revere's telling everybody, hey, look out. He was captured somewhere very near this roadway now, and it's somewhere off to the left where those headlights are passing. There's a sign that says Paul Revere capture site, and I don't know what it looks like because I've never been there, but I've passed the sign dozens and hundreds of times. So yeah, it's very, very, very historical when I come up here. This is Bedford, Massachusetts. It's about, I don't know, 15 miles from Boston. So it's almost nearly Boston. And we're going to ride home, and we're going to do a chill stream because why not? And there's always stuff going on, and we got to talk about it. I didn't do the intro like I normally do because I wasn't even sure if the internet was going to be working that well up here. But it looks pretty good so far. I got a couple of viewers, so welcome, guys. Drop a comment. Looks like somebody might have already commented. This is going to be very hard for me to do. Oh, look, Judas Flychai spamming the chat. Fancy GPS for a goy. Yeah, this GPS is from like I don't know what year. Nobody uses this stuff anymore. Everybody uses their phone. Judith Flychai. What will happen when all of Bitcoin is finished? What will happen indeed? What do you mean? Is it when it's being mined? Well, that will be the year like 2140. In the year 2032, 99% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist will have been mined and will currently be in existence. What will happen after the year 2032? I'm not sure. But we have to see where people decide to store the value of their lives. When I tell you that you should take some portion of the value that you earn from your work or your business or whatever, and instead of holding that value in the paper promise or the electronic promise of the Federal Reserve note, which is a private bank, which is not federal and has no reserves, and constantly reduces the value of the currency you're paid in. When I tell you you should back out of that 1% or 5% or whatever percent you're comfortable with, because they're going to cheat you. You know, they've been saying for decades, oh, the Social Security won't be there anymore. Social Security won't be there for the next generation. Blah, 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 blah. So everything that they've stolen from you your entire life will not be there for you. You know, when you're elderly and unable to continue making money. So that's going to be bad for a lot of people, and they're not going to care because they'll just replace you with Venezuelans or Guatemalans or whatever. And you know, you'll have nothing to say about it because you'll die starving and homeless. So what will happen with Bitcoin? Bitcoin will still be very, very hard to confiscate. Probably harder to confiscate than it is now, because a lot more wealthy people will be buying Bitcoin. And there's, by the way, even though the price action right now, we're like 57,000, people are buying up Bitcoin like crazy, because the institutions, the really big institutions, pension funds, insurance companies, they're still on their way. They're not here yet. They're still on their way. So, because they take like 2 years to get anything done. So when they start putting 1% of their pension fund into Bitcoin, it's going to be a big deal. But what's going to happen? You know, Bitcoin becomes money. I mean, you know, gold was valuable, right? Gold was highly valued by people before it was minted into coins. Before they made it into coins and put a picture of the king on it, right? The king used to just make a bunch of shit out of gold and wear it as a flex, as a display of wealth, right? And so it wasn't quite money yet. And that's kind of like what Bitcoin is. It's not quite money yet, right? But it will be, because the Federal Reserve note, which Jerome Powell and his co-ethnics print digitally, will be made worthless, and people will need to use something else. Bitcoin's not ready yet. We're not ready for prime time. Bitcoin's worth like $1 trillion right now. A little over 1 trillion with the T. And I don't know if this figure is accurate, but they say the entire dollar value of everything on the planet Earth is $900 trillion. So if everything that exists is worth 900 trillion and Bitcoin is only 1 trillion, you can see we're outnumbered pretty heavily. It's like 900 to 1. We got a long way to go before we take this thing over, but we will actually take it over. But understand, we're up against, we are battling giants, boys. We are absolutely battling giants. Eagle Pax Max. Hello, James. Good to see you. Road trip on this particular stream. Yeah, I figured why not stream from the road, because I'm on the road a lot, especially on Sundays. And more people watch on Sunday. People have the time off. They're looking for something. A lot of people have a lot of free time on Sunday to do stuff or consume content. And I didn't used to do this because YouTube was like, well, your account is less than 1,000 subscribers, so we're not going to let you do, streaming from mobile streaming from wherever you are. And I was like, oh, well, can't get around that. But streaming through StreamYard, using the StreamYard software, YouTube has no idea how many subscribers I have. It's just a stream coming in from StreamYard. And so, you get around that 1,000 subscriber limit. And that's what we have to do in life, is we have to modify and adapt, to the problems we face, and make workarounds. And that is easier to do when you've been doing it your whole life. And for the coming 5 or 10 years, like AI, and I've been posting this in a couple of different areas, people talking about AI this and AI that. And I finally, after meditating on it for a while, figured out that what AI is going to do to white collar workers what sending jobs offshore did to union workers in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, right? When they started shipping jobs overseas, those manufacturing jobs, making the factories in China, it gutted the American union, the labor unions knuckled under, right? They paid off the leaders, and, just everything had shrunk, and, more and more jobs were sent overseas to Mexico, to China, to wherever. And there was nothing that, these blue collar guys could do about it. You just had to adapt to try and find, new work somewhere else. And that's what AI is going to do to white collar work. All of these white collar people that think they're so smart, software engineers, a lot of lawyers, a lot of middle management people, they think they're, I got a college degree, I'm safe, I'll be able to retire. I'm not like those dummies who just got a high school education and learned how to weld or become a plumber. You're going to find out the guys who are welders and plumbers, because those skills are still needed, will still have a way to make an income. And when your income is checking boxes or sending emails about the work someone else is doing, that's going to be done by AI. And you're going to find yourself unemployed, with a mortgage, with a wife and kids. And you're going to have to adapt to a really harsh set of circumstances. And most of those people are not very good at that type of adaptation. That's really going to be probably the biggest social upset, right? AI is going to get rid of all these people's jobs, and all the commercial real estate, all these office buildings all over the country will no longer be necessary, because no one's going to be going to the office. AI is going to be handling all that shit. And then what? Who pays the mortgages on those buildings, right? When the banks get into fucking trouble because that $400 million mortgage on that commercial office tower is not being paid anymore, because all those white collar jobs have been replaced by AI, what happens to the banks, right? They go under. Well, they don't actually go under, because the government's not going to let them go under, or it's unlikely they're going to let them go under. They're going to bail them out. They're going to print the fucking money. They're going to shovel more money into the banks so they don't go under because of commercial real estate. And it's going to make 2008, 2009 look like a walk in the park, So in terms of, Judas Fleischai, what's the future of Bitcoin going to be? We're going to take over the planet. I've said it again and again and again. It's going to become the global reserve currency. Will it happen tomorrow? No, but it's going to happen. And you could do whatever. You could say whatever you want. You could say, listen, I'm comfortable where I am. I'm high up enough in the current system that, it's not going to affect me. I don't need to earn a living. The paper promises of the Jew in the Shabbos Goy will last for the rest of my lifetime. And that may very well be true, but the shift is occurring. You know what I mean? When you have, what's his name here? Cheeto Hitler, right? How Trump was orange pilled by 3 Puerto Ricans. I don't know what kind of listed Puerto Ricans they're half Jews, half Puerto Ricans. There's some type of conversos or crypto Jews. So they turned his head around about Bitcoin, and they promised him $100 million. What do you think really convinced him? Their logical arguments, their passion, their enthusiasm, or the fact that they were willing to come up with $100 million? What do you think really changed his mind? So this is inevitable. Like I said, the last 15, 16 years, we just go from strength to strength, winning to winning to winning. And when I first got into Bitcoin, and by the way, there's so much fucking that's rerunning. I got some hilarious shit that I just saw. That the Trump thing, the rerun of 2016 is going to be fucking wild. Because there's, at least for me, it will be. I don't know about the rest of you, but for me, it's going to be great. Yeah. The fact that we continue to win and everyone else continues to lose is hard for a lot of people to accept, because you don't understand how authoritarian, how strict, and how severe living by a set of rules that were created by humans but not enforced by humans. You don't understand how authoritarian that really is. By the way, we're on Highway 90 going westbound. Just came off 93. Now we're on 90. Then we're going to 84. But yeah, living by a Bitcoin standard, a set of rules that you can't change. That no individual or no minority can go in and change the fucking rules. That's a whole different way of thinking. You can listen. If you're honest with yourself, and it's not flattering, but if you're honest with yourself, the world you were born into is the world you think it's always going to be like this. No one thought that there was going to be airplanes before there were airplanes. No one thought, people would replace horses and buggies with the steam engine. And even when the steam engine first came out, when the airplane was first invented, people said, you know what? It's only one or two things over here. They pointed out all the flaws in this new technology, and how long it took to lay down railroad tracks and blah 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 blah. And if you could fall asleep while you're driving your horse and your horse will still bring you home, you can't do that with a steam engine. Like all of the negatives that people saw back in the day, that thinking process is being applied to Bitcoin today. Oh, it's not big enough. It doesn't scale. But listen, I don't fucking care. I'm not here to sell you on any of this. If you think that going backwards technologically is a road to success, you are wrong. Okay, you need to either make the new technology work for you, or do something. Move to an area, at least temporarily, where that new technology doesn't affect you directly in a negative fashion. That's what you need to do. And what that looks like for each individual, I don't know. What do I got here? I'm gonna throw up this screen share. What is this one? I gotta here's for the price action and for the people dumping it. The Mt. Gox distribution still going on. There's another $9 billion or so worth of Bitcoin that they're going to distribute, and the U.S. government might be squeezed by whoever squeezes the U.S. government to dump more Bitcoin on the market. In which case, that would be awesome, because Bitcoin would be on fucking sale. And the nature of this is that after the halving event, which was this April, about 200 days after the halving, which is going to be right after the election, so early November 6th and November 7th, that's when we should start to see whatever pump we're going to get in this cycle, in the 2024 cycle. And that pump will last a year, maybe 18 months, and then it will have a blow off top, and then we'll cool down. That's if we follow the same pattern as last time. So right now you're seeing pretty cheap Bitcoin, 5-figure Bitcoin. And this may be the next 60 days may be the last time you see it this low. However, there's always fuckery about, and people are trying. Like I said, when I say that the existing financial system is 900 times larger, people just reflexively do. They just reflexively follow along. It takes a lot of courage and commitment to go against the prevailing narrative. So Binance, I've mentioned this company before, biggest crypto exchange on the planet, got crypto exchanges all over the world. Their former CEO, Changpeng Zhao, also called CZ, currently doing 4 months in federal prison for securities violations, although they're letting him keep his $33 billion fortune. I said it before, I will repeat myself. Binance is a CIA front company. That's the exchange that they used to send Bitcoin around the world to their little minions to do whatever it is the CIA had once done in their country. And CZ was their front man. That's why he's only doing 4 months in prison and he gets to keep all the money. Binance never had a corporate headquarters. CZ used to live in Dubai. Dubai has no extradition treaties with any country. Like, it was all carefully set up so that no nation state could fuck with Binance. And the people who set that up were definitely the people in Langley, Virginia, at the Bureau of Public Highways. But recently, right, Binance froze the accounts of a couple of Palestinians who were supposedly on a list of terrorists that Israel requested them to seize these funds, right? And when that happened, something like $500 million worth of Bitcoin just fucking flew off the exchanges. You should never keep your Bitcoin on exchanges, but people still do it anyway because they're lazy and they don't want to take responsibility. But this is more than just a rumor, because Binance says they released a statement that there has been some incorrect statements around this. That means mostly it's true, okay? Only a small number of accounts linked to illicit funds were blocked from transacting. Now, you don't fucking know that. Tel Aviv, called up fucking Washington and said, shut these fucking people down, and they shut it down. And when everybody saw that, they pulled all their fucking Bitcoin from Binance, which, you should never leave your money in someone else's hand. Trusted third parties are holes in your security, okay? You are not secure if you are trusting a third party to safeguard your money, period, end of story. So, it was only a couple of them. Listen, the rules are you don't fucking fuck with our shit, or we won't do business with you again. So people learn slowly, but they will eventually learn. However, this sort of ability to rug pull everyone, it goes back like forever and ever. It's a power that they always have, power that they always use. My favorite punching bag, and it should be yours too, especially after this. My favorite punching bag, where is he? Hit the button. Elon Musk. Elon Musk, if you remember a couple of years ago, did Saturday Night Live, and he was pumping fucking Dogecoin, right? Which is a shit coin. And it was, I don't remember what the price was when he started talking about it, but I think it went up to like 74 cents or something like that. Then Elon Musk did Saturday Night Live, and then right after that, the price dropped from 74 cents to like 7 cents. So Elon Musk participated in a rug pull of a lot of people, because just believe, even normies believe. Normies think they don't do everything they're told on TV, but they do, right? Elon Musk, he's so smart. He's the richest man in the world. He's got rockets. He's got robots. He's got this. He's got electric cars. He's into Dogecoin. I'm going to buy some Dogecoin. And then they fucking rug pulled for, if you look at the screen, 258 billion with a B. That's $250 billion that they made or extracted from everyday people in like a fucking week. $250 billion in about a week. And a bunch of people tried to hold Elon accountable. The courts found that he was not responsible for any of this. Unsurprisingly, but this little rug pull, and it's not a little rug pull, must have excited these motherfuckers to no fucking end. Because when they see how quickly they can extract your money from you, and it's by convincing you that you get to be just like this great, warm, wonderful humanitarian human being who let his fucking kids get raped, who has, 12 different kids by fucking 11 different fucking women, and who never worked a day in his life, that they can con you, using various different fucking media, that you could be just like your hero Elon if you take your fucking life savings and put it into Dogecoin. And a lot of people put a lot of fucking money into that and got really, really badly fucking burned. And he comes out, smelling like a rose, right? Legally smelling like a fucking rose. And the reason why I hate him, well, that's the main reason why I hate the fucking guy. This is going to go on and on and on. They're going to do this forever. They're going to do this forever. They're going to take as much as they can from you until there's nothing left. And when you die starving and homeless, they'll replace you with a Venezuelan, a Venezuelan or a fucking Chinaman or whatever, and they'll squeeze them just as much. That you think you're going to overthrow their economic system using their money shows how delusional you are. You're really deeply fucking delusional. That's not how it works. You are not going to overthrow the parasites using the money that the parasites fucking print. That's just not going to happen, right? I don't remember. I showed this on the Rumble stream, but I can't remember if I showed it here. But I'll show it here because the scariest thing, one of the scariest truths that this current mask-off circumstance we find ourselves in is this. This is a 51-second video that should really bother the fuck out of you.
If the genocide in Gaza is not halted, it will presage a new world order, a world where the old rules, more honored in the breach than the observance, no longer matter. It will be a world where nations with vast bureaucratic structures and technologically advanced military systems carry out in public view massive killing projects. The industrialized nations, weakened, fearful of global chaos, are sending an ominous message to the global south and anyone who might think of revolt. We will kill you without restraint, and no one will stop us. One day, you will all be Palestinians.
Well, the thing is, we are all Palestinians. I've said it before. We live in an open-air gulag just because there are no fences and guards, or not as many fences and guards as you would imagine in a gulag in the 1930s, doesn't mean we aren't there, right? Because we continue to produce for them what they want. They allow us a certain level of freedom, but starting next year in America, if you don't trade in your regular driver's license for a special ID called a real ID, you will not be able to fly on an airplane inside the United States without your passport. You're either going to need your passport or this new form of ID called a real ID. That's in the land of the free, right? Not being allowed to get on an airplane to go from Cleveland to Houston you know, and while you believe you're waving your fucking flag and you're getting your fucking eagle tattoo and you're cheering on Donald Trump or whoever, listen, you're living in a fucking Soviet gulag, a country that has internal passports. You can't go from here to there within your own country without having to show a passport. Yeah, freedom is basically gone, you know. This guy says someday we'll all be Palestinians. Dude, we have all been Palestinians for quite some time. And the fact that, you know, it was easier in past decades for the United States and the other powers to kill people on a massive scale, just because there was no media in the places that were doing it. The places that were killing people had a lot of natural resources, but they didn't have a whole lot of TV stations or fucking or newspapers being sold on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. So, you know, it's always been this way. They will kill you if you get in their way, and there is no direct resistance of these people. You are not going to fight them. You are not going to fucking win. The best thing you can do is peacefully and legally withdraw your economic energy from the system that keeps the war machine going. Right? It's just that simple. And you don't have to do it all at once, but I suggest you start doing it, because they're going to take what you have one way or another. And to, you know, if you want to bullshit yourself that you can time it, or, you know, there's some legal structures in the way that are going to protect you, okay, you know, that's fine. But I don't believe that at all. Right? I don't believe that for 2 seconds. And you're not going to convince me. You're not going to convince me of that ever. Okay, I mentioned. What did I mention? Where's
the genocide?
This is not as easy to fucking do while you're driving, and I don't want to weave too much because the fucking cops will pull me over. The police will pull me over, and that will suck. Where's my mans? Where is my mans? I had him up here, right? Didn't I? Guess who's back? All right, so 2016 all over again. If everybody from this channel, or a bunch of people from this channel, will remember way back in the days, my first YouTube channel, I did a video, a clickbait video called "The Truth About Kurt Doolittle." And if you remember that guy, Kurt Doolittle, he was supposedly a right-wing extremist dude who came up with a philosophy called proprietarianism. Him and some guy named John Marks, who wore a blue suit and a red motorcycle helmet. And John Marks would do these videos from inside parking garages, and they talked about the coming Civil War. And Doolittle told you that you should throw roofing nails in the highway to make trucks crash, and take road flares and wrap them around the gas meters by your, factories, so you could blow up the factory. Like, he was encouraging this like World War II style of super simple terrorist acts, and it became something of a big shit. And this was post Charlottesville, and I said I used to be motivated by the fear that young people would fucking would get railroaded, like James Field got railroaded. And I drove up to New Haven, Connecticut, and I had no idea how to fucking do live streams. I was just, you know me, I do shit on the fly. Anyway, I did a video because Kurt Doolittle says, like, yeah, I'm from New Haven, and we used to settle our scores in New Haven Park, or blah, 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 man to man. Fucking, that he never did. And I went up to the park in New Haven, and I challenged them, and I fucking shit all over his fucking videos. And I threw that up, The Truth About Kurt Doolittle. It was the only video I ever did that got like 10 or 12,000 views. And that's when people like Babylonian Hebrew and some others noticed me. And at first they were like, look at this stupid Joey Bag of Donuts guy. How funny is he? And then, of course, I came onto the scene and started educating them that, yes, I understand I sound like Joey Bag of Donuts. But if you think I'm as dumb as I sound, you're about to get humiliated forever on the internet. And Kurt Doolittle, believe it or not, there were so many negative comments on that video, and it was all like Kurt Doolittle sock accounts. He would make sock account after sock account after sock account criticizing me on my Truth About Kurt Doolittle video. And eventually, the people who followed him online, because he built up, him and this guy John Marks built up a following. They got pushed and promoted by, whoever runs these things behind the scenes. YouTube put that in front of people, and people were like, when are you going to do a live event? When are you going to do a meet and greet? Which he eventually did one, and it was, I didn't go to it, of course, but the people who did said it was so bizarre. He was like praising interracial porn and just saying the weirdest fucking things, and it just totally collapsed. Whatever big secret message he was supposed to deliver, he didn't deliver, and that was kind of the end of Kurt Doolittle. But for me, back in the days, he was like the first Fed that I ever fucking hunted his scalp. You know what I mean? I took his fucking scalp like a fucking wild Indian, like a fucking wild Apache Indian on the fucking terrorizing some fucking pioneers of the fucking plains, and that was back then. And I don't know, that was fun, right, back in the days. Well, guess what? Guess who's back, motherfucker? Robert Breedlove, who's a Bitcoin guy, right, did this video. Did the 10 Commandments arise from imitation with Kurt Doolittle? And the first comment is, Kurt has some great ideas. You should have him on. So Kurt Doolittle is back. Is he back really? Yes, he's back. That fat fuck who lived in his mother's house in New Haven. By the way, I reported him to the New Haven police. They didn't do anything about it. They didn't take a report, but I reported them, and I said I reported him. And I don't know if I caused them any trouble, but I really wanted this guy. I wanted the cops to get all fucking twisted up over this whole fucking thing. So here's Robert Breedlove talking to Kurt Doolittle on whatever stupid fucking bullshit he's pushing these days.
So we actually have to do something, because the enemy will win, and they will destroy property. They will destroy responsibility, and they will drive us back into another dark age like they did the last one.
Wokeism, then, is this a crime against the informational commons? Because that seems to be wanting to do the opposite, is make clearly defined terms ambiguous.
We only have two choices if we want to preserve participatory government, and that is we either have to fix the problem of truth, or we have to remove people incapable of it from the voting pool.
Do we go straight to the rule of law and coercion to try to protect that? Because that seems like it might be at odds with the freedom of speech.
Do we need freedom of speech? Oh, we do need freedom of truthful and moral speech. Unlike the conservatives who had hope that the left would learn. What you did with communism, right? Those people learned. But that hope turned out to be false hope.
How important is the rule of universally individualized private property to the science of human cooperation?
Yeah, great question.
So there you go. You got Breedlove, who thinks he's a smart guy. He thinks he's hip to fucking conspiracies and ulterior motives, but he's not. And if you looked at fucking Kurt Doolittle, he looks like shit, man. That motherfucker looks like death warmed over. He has not fucking aged well. The last 4 years have not been fucking kind to him, like, at all. He looks literally like he's on death's fucking door. He's still fucking fat, but he really looks super pasty and fucking half dead now. And there's no reason for that, because he's in a fucking federal government pension. You would think he could get some fucking steroids and go outside the fucking house every now and then, get some fucking sun. But he's a lazy, fat fucking parasite, and that's that. And he's, whatever he was trying to fucking bullshit Breedlove taking him seriously, not knowing this guy was a Fed, asked him this question. Well, isn't this at odds with the freedom culture? And then fucking, I don't know how Doolittle gets out of that. I don't give a shit. What Doolittle's saying is, if we want to preserve participatory government, he didn't say democracy. He said participatory government. What the fuck does that mean? Who gets to participate? Oh, the people who are moral and good and tell the truth. And who decides who's moral and good and tells the fucking truth, right? Kurt Doolittle and his little pals. Listen, it's all total bullshit. It's all fucking hocus pocus and fucking nonsense. But yeah, they're trying to push him again. I actually did comment on Breedlove. I left a comment, everything I'd said. This guy's a fed. I fucking humiliated him years ago. Blah 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 blah. I did a very short, relatively short paragraph of my history with Kurt Doolittle, and fucking Breedlove fucking deleted the comment. You know, so even all these fucking guys that are free speech, they're not fucking free speech. You know what I mean? They aren't free speech. But Kurt Doolittle coming back to me is like a do-over. This makes me feel like 2016 all over again, except I'm way hipper to what Bitcoin is and what it means. And if Donald Trump becomes president again and Bitcoin goes up 20x from where it is today, I will not be crying, because 20 times 57,000 is $1 million per Bitcoin. I'll fucking take it. I could live with that by 2028. So let's see what happens. But yeah, the hilarity that Kurt Doolittle has fucking returned is just fucking. That's like, it feels like a gift to me. It truly feels like a gift to me. Hey, wait, why is it? Maybe we'll do that. Better. But you got to be. You got to understand that we're gonna fucking beat these guys. So all they have is their fucking shitty fucking reruns. And listen, we're gonna fucking destroy them. We're gonna win and they're gonna lose, because our set of rules applies equally to everybody. Nobody gets a special fucking advantage. So and nobody else has that system. So as people get wiser and wiser to the fact that not only is the American dream dead, but it hasn't been possible for at least 100 fucking years. They're going to start looking for something else, and they're not going to get to Bitcoin right away. They're going to fuck up and they're going to go in the wrong direction 10 fucking times. But eventually they'll get here. And when all that's done, we won't be 1 trillion and the addressable wealth in the world 100 trillion. We'll be much, much bigger. We'll be 10, 20, 30 times bigger than we are today. We will be a force to be reckoned with. And when I say us, I mean the existing system is going to have to compete with a set of rules that are inhuman, and you're not going to be able to outcompete that technology. You just won't. Not going to happen. In the meantime, the world's going to be devastated. I got 2 videos, and I want to show you how, and I've said this before, we can kill these people. Listen to me when I tell you. We can turn these people into pink mist. We can fucking atomize these people, and we can probably kill them all, but we are never going to break these people, and you are never going to beat these people psychologically. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about the people of Palestine. Right? If these people can do this, I got 2 videos. I'll show them like back to back. First one's 1 minute and 30 seconds. If you can do this in a war zone, you're not beating these people. Watch this first video.
ليالي لبنان على الطريقة الغزاوية. ويلا نبلش. لتر ماي، حليب، مفروض تنعمل بحليب سائل، بس بما انه فيش رح نعملها بالحليب البودرة. كاس صغير، حرك قبل ما يتقل القوام. ماء زهر، هذا القوام المطلوب. لقيت انه نديره بالقالب. استناها تجمد. لقيت انه نضيف علبة قشطة بعد ما جمدت. بنحرك. هيك تمام. بنخليها تبرد. نطلعها من القالب بعد ما جمدت. حاسة حالي في عملية. أنا وقت التزيين. أنا عسل. قد ما بدي أحكي عن شكل هاب مش رح أقدر أوصفه عن جد. إبداع. حان وقت الحقيقة. الجد سيأتي رغم الظروف وبرغم الحروب. آمن أذكى ليالي لبنان.
So you can kill that kid. You can kill her parents. You can say, "Oh, they're all terrorists." You know, you can absolutely kill that kid. But do you live life in such a way where you could do a fucking cooking show in a war zone? In a fucking war zone, right? I bet you're not quite that fucking based, right? You think you're capable of all sorts of shit if only people knew the real you. Trust me, the real you is probably a punk, you know? Those people, like I said, you could kill them. You could kill her brothers, her cousins, her uncles. Kill them all. We could kill them all. But you're never going to break those fucking people. You are never going to break them. And that is an enormously big fucking deal. Those people are going to be the pivot point around which a lot of stuff is going to fucking hinge in the future, right? And when I see stuff like that, you know, listen, is it a propaganda video? It's a cute girl making a cake with semolina and rose water and fucking walnuts and honey, but you know, that's you sit there and think about that. Think about the situation those people are in, but they're still going to make a video like that. You know what I mean? Think of how fucking defiant that is. Think of how fuck you that is. Think of the level of fuck you that is that fucking video represents. And if that one doesn't do it for you, you could try this one.
What if you wanted to go for a picnic in Gaza? Let's go.
The first step was to make our own picnic stuff. As you know, there is no chocolate, no juice, and definitely no chips, but we were able to make cinnamon rolls. Look how they are beautiful. And we made pastry with kofta from canned beef. I don't like canned food, but it's the only kind of food we have. The second step was to find an appropriate place for us to picnic. As you see, everything is distracted, the national park is wide out, and you can see how disappointed my face looks like.
تعبنا يعني لا كارت حمار ولا بسكليت ولا إشي يا جماعة مش قادرة.
Then it came to our minds to go to the sea. However, people warned us not to get any farther because it was very dangerous. I miss it so much. Look how beautiful it is. And yes, as you see, we ended up picnicking on the rubble.
Yeah, could you do that? Could you live in that fucking war zone and have a picnic in the fucking rubble? Could you really do that? And for the people who can do that, you know, how are they different from you, right? Very different from you. They can't even walk to the beach to have whatever they're gonna food they make out of fucking cans because probably some Israeli gunboat will fucking machine gun them, you know, and claim that they killed 2 terrorists in a fucking scuba attack or some shit like that. You aren't going to beat these people. Like I said, we can kill them. We can absolutely kill them. You know, no one can stand against America militarily. You know, and we'll end up killing them, and the Israelis will take fucking credit for it. That's how hilarious that is. But you're not going to beat these people. These people are not going to give up. They're not quitting. You know what I mean? And the thing about these 2 videos, you have to understand that food is life. Food is life, and everything else is just waiting. Right? That's paraphrasing a Steve McQueen quote, but it's truer than what Steve McQueen said. Food is life, and everything else is just waiting. So if you can live life like those people live life, under those circumstances, you're not going to be super worried about fucking anything. Nothing is going to fucking break you ever. So do we have more comments? Jonathan Pohl. Oh, hi. Hello, Mr. Pohl. Professor Pohl. Long time no see, sir. Long time no see. Listen, you got a wrench. You got to keep those people in the chat in line. You know, if they get out of line, you unabashedly swing the ban hammer, because that is why I gave you a wrench. That, sir, is why finally I get some backup on this channel. But yeah, withdrawing your economic energy from this fucking murderous global slavery matrix is the smartest thing you can do. It's legal. They can't fucking stop you. And it is, whether or not they fear it or they don't fear it, you have to contribute to building something that is the exact opposite, the antithesis of all of this shit. Now, over the weekend or a couple of days ago, there's some Russian dude who built a Telegram app, and they arrested him in France. He's a billionaire. If he's Russian or Estonian or I don't know what the fuck he is, but he's a billionaire, and they arrested him right out of his private jet, which is very rude. And supposedly they're going to hold him because it's like, I don't even think like a government asked. This is the best part. Like, it was like Apple and fucking Microsoft that said, you know, you got to arrest this guy. Like, corporations said, we can't break through the encryption on Telegram, so we have to arrest this guy because you have to arrest him because it's against our terms of service, or well, some fucking shit. But this is a prelude, right? Anything that they can't control, they're going to put in jail. And when there's one dude, like the Telegram dude, that they can reach out and touch, that they can go hands-on with, they're going to grab him, and his money ain't going to save him, and they're going to throw him in prison until they get whatever the fuck they want. And based off that success, which is really not that much of a success, but it's just the way they've been doing business since forever, right? The Europeans are going to now, they're going to go after Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin. By the way, the U.S. federal government's also looking for him as well. Good luck, because you're never going to find him, because the real guy has probably been dead for fucking 12 years or so. But keep looking, right? And the reason why they're looking for him is because they don't own Bitcoin. They can't stop Bitcoin, right? And they can't compete with Bitcoin. So what they're going to try to do to Bitcoin is what they're doing to this Telegram app. And I say, good fucking luck. Let's see you. Let's make it happen. Come, let's fucking fight. I told you they would fight us, and this is how they're. This is the now they fight you, right? First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you. This is them fighting us, right? And when I tell you we're gonna fucking win, we are going to fucking win. You are not gonna beat us. They're not gonna fucking beat us. All these fucking shabos boy fucking bootlickers are not going to beat us. We're gonna fucking win because we have a system and a method that is outside their control. Fuck, it's outside their comprehension. It's outside most people's comprehension. And if you want to entrust your future, the future of your children and grandchildren, to the promises of Jews and their fucking shabos goy, whatever, that's your decision. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I think it's a really bad idea, but you run with it, man. You absolutely run with it. For me, I'm going to base my future on something else. You know, the fact that I do streams like this, right? That, you know, I do a driving down the road stream. I gotta like keep my car from going off the road, avoid the state troopers from fucking when I'm weaving in and out of the fucking lane, like, you know, and everyone else does their shit stationary with the fucking script. I'm very accustomed to living close to the consequences of my actions, and I'm comfortable with that. And most people are not. You know, most people would prefer to be led by the hand to something super easy and popular and fun. And that doesn't change anything, right? Super easy, popular, and fun doesn't change any fucking thing. And that's going to end for a lot of people relatively soon. But in the meantime, those of us who are fanatics, those of us who can really see what's going on will be preparing for a very, very, very different future. And what else? When you see shit like this, I showed this on the Rumble channel. I'm pretty sure I didn't show it here. This next video, not going to be a whole lot of stuff that's shocking. Isn't going to be a big surprise, but it's a 2-minute video that, you know, the closer you get to seeing the little man behind the curtain, the more of this shit's going to happen.
Israel is attacking the UK. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's a fact.
To say that we will not be slave to Allah and Allah's representative.
Instigators of the riots have received money from Israel. Even the Times of Israel have exposed the financing of it. But why attack the UK? 12 days ago, the new UK government dropped its objection to the ICC's arrest warrant for the Israeli PM. And last Friday, the Daily Mail broke the story that arms exports to Israel have been suspended, hence the increase in violence over the weekend.
We've had people shipped in who have instigated a crowd scene here that, you know, it's got to the edge.
The EDL was originally registered as a limited company in 2010 by former Israeli soldier Roberta Moore. And then there's Paul Sanato, also known as Paul Ray, was also a key figure in the early days of the EDL. In a blog interview from 2007, he claimed to have fled to Israel for his safety and has alleged links to Mossad. Look how fellow co-founder Stephen Yaxley Lennon this very week tried to falsely link Hamas, a prescribed terror organization, to the riots.
Why are people angry? I'll tell you why they're angry. Because Hamas were allowed to overtake London, overtake our capital city.
And who helps fund him? People like US tech billionaire Robert Shillman, who's also a major donor to the Friends of the Israel Defense Forces. Wake up. A foreign power is spreading disinformation to sow division and increase anti-Muslim sentiment. And that takes attention off their genocide in Gaza. Take back control by sharing the truth.
So that's why I was saying, you know, on Culture Thug 2 weeks ago was interviewing some douchebag who brought a Nazi flag to the DNC convention or some shit like that. I have to see these two things as being remarkably similar. These acts of provocation designed to get people fighting in the streets and create hysteria. You know, it's not as effective here in the US as it is in the UK. But if you really think that fucking Hamas runs the fucking streets of London, yeah, I don't think so. I'm not the world's most experienced London bro. I was only there once earlier this year, but I did not see evidence that Hamas was running things. Maybe I was in the wrong neighborhoods, but yeah, that's what you're going to see every time the heat gets turned up on, you know, the government to stop arming and funding the genocide. There's going to be race riots, blacks versus Hispanics in America, white supremacy shit, all that bullshit. They're just going to turn that up higher and higher and higher so that the news is filled with something else and people believe in something else. As a matter of fact, another one of my nieces, the one that lives in Jersey, there was a story that they found a clock-like device outside a hospital, and they think it might have been, a terrorist device or some shit like that. They think it was a bomb outside a hospital. Hospital just happens to be just taken over by Jews recently. And my niece is like all worried about this shit. And I'm like, listen, I didn't say it directly. I had to be circumspect, but I got my message across that there's a certain group that always pretends to be the victims, and this stuff benefits them, and they're surveillance cameras are on the hospital. They'll be able to see who did it, but the police can't seem to notice who did it. They have no video, no surveillance from anywhere around this facility, which, trust me, has a lot of cameras. I used to go there. The fact that the mystery terrorists are everywhere. I said, no one's trying to blow up your local hospital. That's a false flag event. And I actually did get my point across to her which I was very happy with, but she's a normie. She's whatever. She's a fucking middle class Jersey housefrau, and she believes the shit she sees on Facebook and on Fox News, and it convinces her to be frightened of shit that doesn't fucking exist, like a terror cell in fucking Toms River, New Jersey, and points her attention away from opposing, the destruction of the people of Palestine for the benefit of the chosen people. I can't, listen. I cannot post something like this on Facebook, right? If I do that, it's going to be a problem, but I don't need to, right? I really don't need to. Everybody here understands what I'm talking about. And it's a bit of a challenge to my communication skills to convince my family that to refocus on their own lives and ignore what they see on TV. But that's kind of hard. By the way, I've left the highway. I'm going to my favorite. This is my favorite gas station in fucking Massachusetts. This gas station is like 35 cents cheaper than every other gas station, and I'm right by the Massachusetts Connecticut border, so right at northern Connecticut, or southern Massachusetts. So I'm very, very close. But this is a place I stop at a lot. It's actually a truck stop, but it has a gas station as well. It is a Pilot. It's the Pilot truck stop on 400 Sturbridge Road, and a pretty busy place all in all. Although it's the end of a holiday weekend, so that's that. This, by the way, I think this is where I'm going to end the stream, because I'm going to grab some high quality fried chicken or something like super high cholesterol and very low in vitamins while I'm here. But yeah, that is, well, we're at an hour and 4 minutes. So that was an hour long Sunday night chill stream. We covered the return of Kurt Doolittle and some other fun stuff. But it feels to me like 2016 all over again. And that's not a bad thing, because 2016, you rarely get a second chance to take a bite at the apple. But you know what you really should take a chance at? You should take a chance on smashing up the like button. Never forget, smash up the like button, because you won't be able to do that forever. But in the meantime, we will laugh along at these clowns and keep stacking, keep removing the value of your work from the economic system that creates and supports the things you hate. And hold on, let me do this. I had this planned earlier. I'll loop this video. I will loop this video while I get out of the car. This is you can watch this one over and over. This is a fucking CIA's greatest hits in Pentagon City. The infamous, the notorious Richard Spencer video. Watch it again and again. Look for the person in yellow directing traffic. Look for the guy with the sunglasses over Richard Spencer's right shoulder. Sunglasses on a cloudy day. Look for the fat black woman in a purple coat. Look for the guy who hits him to touch him on the shoulder first. Watch all of this. I'll put it on a loop, and I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Neo-Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me, actually.
Following the KKK, neo-Nazi.
Those people don't like me.
Are you like the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement?
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol. Neo-Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me, actually.
Following the KKK, neo-Nazi.
Those people don't like me.
Are you
to be
like
honest.
the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement?
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol. Neo-Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me, actually.
Following the KKK, neo-Nazi.
Those people don't like me.
Are you
to be
like
honest.
the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement?
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol. Neo-Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me, actually.
Following the KKK, neo-Nazi.
Those people don't like me.
Are you
to be
like
honest.
the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement?
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol. Neo-Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me, actually.
Following the KKK, neo-Nazi.
Those people don't like me.
Are you
to be
like
honest.
the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement?
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol. Neo-Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me, actually.
Following the KKK, neo-Nazi.
Those people don't like me.
Are you
to be
like
honest.
the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement?
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol. Neo-Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me, actually.
Following the KKK, neo-Nazi.
Those people don't like me.
Are you
to be
like
honest.
the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement?
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol. Neo-Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me, actually.
Following the KKK, neo-Nazi.
Those people don't like me.
Are you
to be
like
honest.
the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement?
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
I don't like you either, Richard Spencer. I don't like you either. So, all right. But speaking of white supremacy, I have the dinner of white supremacists. I will show you. I will show you what I have. I have chicken tendies. Look at that. It's the official food of white supremacy. Got chicken tendies. I got, you can see that, barbecue sauce. And what's whiter than this? What is, can you see? You can't see what it is. It's, there it is. Chicken tendies and mac and cheese. The official roadside nutrition of white supremacy. So there you go. Next time you're on the road, you know what to eat. And hopefully you find a decent place to eat it. I will now put the chicken tendies in the shape of a swastika and enjoy my meal. Anyway, everybody, Jonathan Pohl, Judas Fly Chai, Pax, Eagle Pax, Vigil, thank you for stopping by, and I will talk to you guys again next week.